Your signature is necessary too, Citizen Minister. And yours, Citizen Minister Marbois.
But, what are we signing, Citizen First Consul?
A treaty, Marbois. A treaty with His Most Catholic Majesty of Spain. A treaty which retrocedes to France the colony and country of Louisiana, exactly as it was ceded to Spain by the 15th Louis in 1763. Secretly ceded, mind you, to his Bourbon cousin of Spain, when the 7 Years' War ended in the loss of the rest of France's American empire to the English. For nearly 40 years has France regretted that cession.
I was certain, of course, that our diplomacy would end in Spain's surrender.
Diplomacy? Pah! By appealing to the vanity and cupidity of hereditary rulers, I have succeeded in less than 2 years, where diplomacy has failed for nearly 40. Fortunately, weak Carlos of Spain has for a queen an ambitious profligate, and the two have a daughter, wife to the Italian Duke of Parma. Well, I can find 1 million Italians within a new border. The pygmy Grand Duchy of Tuscany becomes a new kingdom. The petty duke becomes a puppet king. His duchess a queen. Et voila, Carlos and his wife are overjoyed because their daughter's promotion polishes the tarnished luster of the crumbling house of Bourbon. The result, citizens, is that treaty. Another secret treaty, for Carlos IV is as fearful of his subjects' resentment today as was Louis XV 40 years ago.
Louisiana is as large as continental Europe.
The future of Europe is bound up in the fate of that continent.
What, then, of the United States?
My friend, you are over-thoughtful of that contemptible nation.
With them, citizens, a weak Spain dividing their continent is one thing. A strong France will be something else again.
Precisely. Yesterday, France was but a secondary colonial power. Tomorrow, she'll become supreme, providing colonization follow the tricolor west of the Mississippi.
The Americans will resent such colonization.
Oh, an army will take care of their resentment. An army of occupation. But such an invasion keys on an island. The Pearl of the Antilles controls that line of communication. My 20,000 veterans have no doubt by now put down the rebellion of San Domingo's barbarous blacks. Our general there shares your poor opinion of Americans. Huh?
Citizen General Leclerc affirms that they are the scum of all the nations.
No matter what your opinion of them may be, this seems a time to cultivate the confidence of the American's ambassador.
By all means, Marbois.
We have acknowledged the justice of his nation's claims against us.
Quite right, Citizen Marbois. But 25 millions of francs at this time is not so easily managed.
But somehow it must be managed. Manage it.
I'll see Monsieur Livingston at once.
Not so fast, Marbois. Let Citizen Minister Talleyrand manage this affair with the representative of the people whom he so much despises.
I'll go at once, Citizen First Consul.
Talleyrand, a silk stocking filled with mud. My friend, the affair of the American claims requires a technique unnatural to one as honest as yourself. Come, you have not yet signed the treaty.
There's England. Her American possessions touch Louisiana.
Perfidious Albion. My victories in Egypt, my designs on India, all nullified by victories of the English fleet. What could I not do if at sea I too had a Nelson?
I fear England will not evacuate the Isle of Malta.
They continue too long that violation of our peace treaty.
They charge your occupation of Switzerland nullifies that treaty.
That act was necessary for France's greatness.
The future takes shape while the past begins again.
My friend, power is my mistress. And unless the English evacuate Malta, I shall take it. At the first favorable opportunity, I shall tell the English ambassador that it is either Malta or war. Those crimes of state for conquering a throne. Eh, Marbois?
You should know, Monsieur Livingston, that the high regard I have for your country is only equaled by that which I hold for you.
My thanks, Citizen Minister Talleyrand. And may I impose frankness upon our friendship?
By all means, let us be frank.
The plans for a colonial empire, so dear to the first consul, seem ripe for enactment. Sir, I have good reason for believing that the long-rumored retrocession of Louisiana to France by Spain has been finally arranged.
More rumors merely, probably British-inspired. I assure you, Monsieur Livingston, that nothing could be further from the truth.
Though the world's in turmoil, even our small fleet is dismantled, and our army is but a handful. And my government preferring negotiations in any case to bloodshed.
A most worthy example for the rest of us.
Our fight is to master the arts of peace. But, sir, let no one be deceived that our example signifies weakness.
But of course.
Speaking of negotiations, ours have not been exactly fruitful.
The nation's thundering protest. Protesting, sirs, the failure of the negotiations entrusted to James Monroe. And the very father of waters is barred, sirs, to 200,000 free Americans, sirs, by a foreign handful who control a single seaport.
Our negotiations have obtained for us something for which we neither labored nor asked. Content to buy a single little island at the Mississippi's delta, if our rights in New Orleans could not be reestablished, they are offered all Louisiana.
Bonaparte asked 100 million francs, but as Minister Marbois is our friend, the price has been reduced to 80. The exchange rate is fixed and equals $15 million. 11,250,000 of that amount represents a Louisiana Purchase. The balance, in cash, satisfies our spoliation claims. But, sirs, neither Livingston nor Monroe had authority to treat for that territory. Oh, they aped the Corsican, who seized authority to sell it.
And I, sir, who am the first to acknowledge that in our Constitution there seems no authority for a president's purchase of territory, intend to go to the people and ask their support of my intention to buy it.
I think that all people believe that it is the duty of all honest men to uphold, not pull down government by the majority, so long as that government labors for the common good. Because this purchase will cancel the necessity for an entangling alliance and prevent this continent's continuing a prize pawn in the gory games of Europe, I say it is for the common good.
The people justified Jefferson's faith in them. Congress authorized finance. The Senate ratified treaty and conventions. Napoleon's ratification.
This is the story of a real estate transaction that doubled the size of the United States. Before the purchase of the Louisiana Territory, the United States lay between the Mississippi River and the Atlantic Ocean. Then in 1803, without war and with a few strokes of a pen, the United States doubled her lands. For more than 900,000 square miles, the United States paid France $15 million. The land purchased stretched from the Mississippi River down to the Gulf of Mexico. Skirting the northern claims of the Spanish, the border ran north through the Rockies and up to... From the early days of explorations, the Louisiana Territory had been claimed by the French. Then, in 1763, they ceded their rights to the Spanish. And so, during the Revolutionary days and the beginning of our government, the Louisiana Territory was a part of the vast Spanish New World Empire. Settlements were few. Most of the people were Creoles who lived around New Orleans. But there were a few trading posts along the Mississippi around St. Louis, and a few were inland.
Of the Louisiana Territory from the French in 1803, the United States gained control of the sprawling Mississippi River system. The land rush began. Along the rivers, established settlements grew. New towns emerged. Pittsburgh, Chicago, St. Louis, New Orleans, Kansas City, and others began as trading centers or campsites along the early frontier waterways. They grew to become some of the nation's great industrial and commercial centers.